So, what do we think?
Absolute shite, mate. Do you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm off. No, that was wicked. That was really, really cool. Like, it was different to what I expected. Bit more synthy than I remember Atreyu being back in the day. I was sort of like, the only real kind of Atreyu song that I distinctly remember is X's and O's. And I was sort of just comparing it to that was really, really interesting. Yeah, it was amazing. I thought they sort of that weird. Sorry?
No, I was just saying I listened to Atreyu a lot when I was younger, and it was very surprising, like Ben was saying.
Yeah, it was really cool, mate.
In genre, if you will.
I love the kind of like almost the drum bit. What do you call them? Like the bongo kind of esque kind of feature in it was really cool. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, for me, I mean, Atreyu, X's and O's, Bleeding Mascara. Actually, to be fair, the whole album of A Death Grip on Yesterday, for me, I've listened to it like 100 times. It's amazing. That's the one with X's and O's, and it's the one with the theft on it, I think, as well, is on there. Yeah, I think the theft's on there. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing, that whole album. But for me, that's peak Atreyu, because that they've matured after those 2 albums they had beforehand, or 2 or 3 albums they had beforehand, and this is where they, I think, hit their peak, and I think it was where they were at the best.
Yeah.
But I didn't really listen to them after that for some reason. I think I listened to the album after, which had Becoming the Bull, which was really good. But I didn't listen to anything after that because I know they had a hiatus, and I kind of just lost track of them. And then now I saw this track come up, and I'm like, this I need to listen to.
For sure. That was really, really cool. Really, really cool. The bridge in it is really sick. I thought that was really, really, really interesting. So maybe some more Atreyu has to be added to my playlist. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, I did see that they are releasing an album actually called Baptize. It's set for release on the June the 4th of 2021. So I presume these are singles from those albums.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. There is another track.
But sorry, just going to say not musically, but in terms of how long they've been around and how they keep releasing tunes and all this, it kind of reminds me a bit of like Senses Fail, because like they have been around for donkey's years, and so have Atreyu, and you listen to them and it still sounds fresh as fuck. Like, it's just interesting. It's amazing. Yeah. Shows the pro element to it, doesn't it?
Jacopo, what do you think of it? Yeah. What would you rate it out of 10?
That's a very good question. I mean, as a song, not thinking about it as an Atreyu song, as I understand Atreyu, and as you guys were pointing out, I was thinking that early phase of Atreyu. So for me, even, Ain't Love Grand, things like that were, quite seminal songs for me, quite seminal albums.
Yeah.
So as a song, without considering this aspect, I would probably rate it quite highly. But as an Atreyu song, as I understand them, it's a good question. I'll say 6.5 out of 10.
Ah, right. Okay. As an Atreyu song,
I guess balancing out the two.
Okay, so how about
with a
as
bit
a song
of personal
by
taste.
a band you've never heard of?
Yeah, if it wasn't Atreyu, what would you think?
If it was just some band called the Serotonins.
I mean, I'd love the name so much that I'd rate it very, very highly.
Yes.
Sounds good.
But besides that, I think it's a fun, catchy song that you can sing along to with a fun beat. It reminds me a bit of Imagine Dragons. I'm not sure that's particularly positive in my book, but, who am I to say if, millions and millions of people enjoy this music? It's definitely well made, and you can't fault them for, being successful at what they do and trying to make some money.
So, final opinion is 6.5 out of 10. Ben, what are you thinking?
I'd go probably a 7. I was pleasantly surprised by that. I liked it because when it's Atreyu, I thought it was just going to sound like Atreyu, and it didn't. And I think that's quite good. They've managed to kind of evolve a little bit. I respect that.
But that's also something I really miss as well. I like it when bands evolve, but at the same time, you kind of want, especially albums that are so attached to you, you kind of don't want them to evolve in that sense as well, don't you? You kind of want that over and over and over again. You want that same sound, but it's difficult to break away from it as a listener and probably as them. Or maybe they want to break away from it, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's a good point because people evolve, don't they? People mature. It's like, if you take a real kind of cheesy pop punk band and they hit their 40s, they might not be as into writing songs about chasing girls in clubs and, being the cool kid at school because it becomes a bit weird.
Actually, prime example of that is Cheap Trick. Have you heard of Cheap Trick? Have you heard of the band Cheap Trick? Yeah. So all their songs are about like chasing girls back in the 70s or whatever it was, and they're still going now.
Just rocking it.
The same songs. Yeah. Like Bald.
It was like one of the singles off the most recent Blink-182 album. It was like them in a playground at school with a load of primary school kids doing Fortnite dances, and that was the music video. And I was just watching it thinking, these guys aren't 40, these guys are nearly 50. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, it was ridiculous. So yeah, but mate, good first go. I like that a lot. That
cool.
Really,
Jacopo,
really good.
you're up next.
You never gave a rating, Mike.
Oh, me. Okay, right.
11 out of 10.
No, I'm going for a solid 7 out of 10. I have to, those top 3, 8, 9, 10, they're precious.
They are.
Okay?
They are, I'd agree.
So I'm going for 7.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and I think, from a 7.5 up, I think it's probably a song that I would listen to every now and then. If this came on, I wouldn't switch this off. But I also probably wouldn't, put it on a playlist and listen to it regularly.
Okay, cool.
Fair enough.
All right.
So what we got next?
So the next song is actually a song that I added, and it's by a band called While She Sleeps, and it's called Sleeps Society. And essentially what I was thinking with this band, it's also another band like Atreyu that I listened to at the very beginning of their history. And Yumi at 6, not Yumi at 6, This Is the 6, was quite a great album. I actually have a While She Sleeps shirt. They have a fantastic logo. I've just never really listened to them in the past year, so I was pleasantly surprised to see they have a new song. I'm just thinking they're kind of a couple of years behind Bring Me the Horizon in their rather electronic turn. But yeah, let's give it a try and see how they sound.